Donald Trump is going to start a war with Iran.
Because there's nothing more important than peace.
I'm going to predict this right now, and if I'm wrong, you can call me on it later. Donald Trump, the peace president, is going to start a war and potentially destabilize the entire Middle East, if not the whole world, and kill who knows how many people. I'll tell you why I think he's going to do it. What I think are the real reasons in a second. And they're not any of the reasons he's trying to convince the world of. Let me be clear. I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't start a war. But everything about this insane madman says he will. You don't send 2 aircraft carriers and a whole fleet of warships and hundreds of fighter jets halfway around the world as a show of force just to intimidate a country. It's a massive, massive expense. You don't spend that much money, move that many people around the world, leave yourself militarily vulnerable in other regions, unless you intend to do something.
Bad things will happen.
Supposedly, if you listen to what Trump and his minions are saying, all this is about 2 major issues. 1, Iran's uranium enrichment program, building nukes, and negotiating stronger restrictions on Iran over that. And 2, human rights violations, particularly given the reports that the Iranian regime killed thousands of protesters early in the year. But first off, didn't Donald tell us all not so long ago that Operation Midnight Hammer had completely destroyed Iran's nuclear facilities? He literally said that the facilities were completely and totally obliterated.
That was Operation Midnight Hammer, achieving total obliteration of the Iran nuclear potential capability, totally obliterated.
That's what he told us. That's what he said. So, if that was true, what's the big panic to send 2 aircraft carriers over there now? And as far as the killing of the protesters, I don't believe for a second that Trump gives 2 shits about the protesters. When have you ever known Trump to care about people? His ICE agents just killed a bunch of American protesters in Minneapolis. He didn't give a shit about those people. Do you really think, seriously, that he cares about protesters in Iran? Not a chance. The nuclear stuff, the protesters, it's all just convenient, politically correct cover for the real reasons. And I'll tell you what I think they are. And if you think I'm way off base, say so in the comments. So first off, oil. It's really no different, just on a larger scale than Venezuela or Iraq 20 odd years ago. Donald Trump, partly on behalf of big American oil companies and partly just to buck up the US economy that he's systematically destroying, wants to control Iran's oil. If not the actual oil itself, control the flow of it, where it goes and when, and maybe a cut of the profits. It's exactly what he did in Venezuela.
We picked up 50 million barrels from Venezuela alone. Every major oil company is coming in with us. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing to see.
I mean, he said it was because of narco-terrorism and that Maduro's regime was oppressing the people of Venezuela. But last I saw, Maduro's vice president and basically the same regime are still running the country, albeit now cooperating with the US to, unsurprisingly, make Venezuela great again. So that's the first real reason, in my opinion, the oil. And I'll give Donald a little credit here. This is not unique to him or to his administration. Like I said, Bush did almost exactly the same thing with Iraq. He made up complete lies about WMDs over and over and over again to justify a war that killed hundreds of thousands of Iraqis.
As we all know, there were no weapons of mass destruction. The CIA's final report confirmed that just 2 years later, in 2005.
Anyway, on this one, Trump's not entirely alone. Now, the other 2 reasons are all on him. The second reason Trump's going to start a war with Iran, distraction. Now, I've tried to avoid wading into this whole Epstein thing, but it's becoming pretty clear that it's not going away. No matter how hard Trump tries to insist that it's over and that he's completely innocent of anything.
So that takes care of Epstein as far as Trump is concerned.
No matter how many of his lackeys he sends out, Pam Bondi, the rest of them, to say there's nothing there, there's something there. Even his own MAGA cult wants answers on this one. It's just not going away, particularly with the recent arrest of that pedophile, Andrew, over in Britain. It's not just an American scandal anymore. It's international now. In fact, the UN just said that the case might actually meet the legal threshold for crimes against humanity, that it was a global criminal enterprise. I honestly don't know if Trump was directly involved or participated in any of these rapes of children. He may not have, but he definitely traveled in some of the same circles and is almost certainly pals with a lot of the people who did. Whether or not Trump is himself guilty of something or completely innocent, he needs to distract the world from it, from the Epstein thing. He needs to distract the media, the UN, and all the international pressure going on, his own MAGA cult. He needs everyone to look somewhere else. Look over here. UFOs and aliens aren't going to cut it. He needs something big, really big, like a war. So that's number 2, distraction. Number 1, oil. Number 2, distraction. And number 3, well, it's kind of the worst reason of all. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure it isn't the only reason for a man like Trump. It's definitely the biggest reason: his ego, his narcissism. He needs a win. He's been losing left and right lately, losing everywhere. He made an idiot of himself in front of all the world's leaders in Davos a month or so ago.
Because you've been screwing us for 30 years. The United States is keeping the whole world afloat. And she just rubbed me the wrong way, I'll be honest with you. After the war, we gave Greenland back. How stupid were we to do that? There are windmills all over Europe, Azerbaijan. There are windmills all over the place. The situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures, which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own. Somalian bandits. Can you believe that they turned out to be higher IQ than we thought?
The entire audience sat there in silence and shock as he ranted on like an insane idiot for an hour. And the whole world laughed at him over it. Immediately after that, he completely caved on the whole Greenland thing. He lost in Minnesota, basically. He pulled back on that one, too. All his tariff bullshit is falling apart on him. Countries are finally starting to just ignore him and move on with other trade deals with other countries. And in this recent Supreme Court ruling, most of the tariffs he's imposed in the last year are completely illegal, and he can't do it anymore. Another loss. No matter how he tries to spin it, his approval ratings are crashing. There were three polls out recently that showed that if an election was held today, Joe Biden would beat Donald by a lot. The only win he's had in recent memory was Venezuela. Forget about the fact that it was also completely illegal. From his perspective, it was a win. And Donald's entire persona is built around winning. All I do is win. Winning. His ego is so fucking big and so fragile that I absolutely think he'd start a war to make him feel like a man, like a big dog, like a winner. The only person he cares about is himself. I don't think he'd lose a minute of sleep over starting a war that will likely result in the deaths of American soldiers and countless more Iranians, soldiers and civilians, if it gives him, at least in his mind, a win. And that's the sad, sad reality. There's an emotionally bankrupt, narcissistic sociopath running America who's about to start a war, kill people over oil, as a distraction, and mostly to satisfy his own ego.